Hello, and thanks for logging in to watch this short video on handout number 3, which works through these two interest problems. Now, these problems are a little bit different than your typical interest problems, and if you have any question about how to solve either of them, this video might help. Or maybe you felt pretty confident, and before you submit your answers, you wanted to make sure you were on the right track. In addition, even if you get the right answers, this video might help you have a little bit more efficient method and a little bit stronger idea of what's behind these questions. So let's look at the first question about limestone. Limestone just doesn't keep good records, and he knows how much money he started out with, and he knows that, he knows that he started with the $3,487, and he knows how long he's had his account, and he knows that his ending amount is $5,000, but he's trying to work backwards and figure out what the interest rate is. Right now, just using Polya's problem-solving skills, it's important to be able to read this question and understand it, which means getting to the bottom of what exactly is being asked. So what are we trying to do? And here it is. You could jump to the question and see that the question is, what was the interest rate? We are going to use I equals PRT to find his interest rate. We can't just use PRT because we have to work just a little bit further back than just that. So I'm going to use this idea that the amount is going to be the principal plus the interest. The amount in his account is going to be the sum of how much he started with together with how much interest he's earned. And if you used that, that would be a P for principal. And because interest is PRT, we'd have plus PRT. We could factor out the P. See, if I factored a P from P and then a P from PRT, P over P gives us 1. The principal over principal goes to 1 again, and we're left with the RT. So it looks like we'd have, as a factored expression, the principal times the quantity of 1 plus the interest rate times time. And let's see how we can then apply that. If we use this, the amount in the account at the end of this 5 years and 3 months is the principal amount times the quantity of 1 plus the interest rate times time. Then digging through this problem, I can see that the principal amount, what he started with, is a $3,487.98. I can also see that the time that he has this account is, and the time that he's incurring interest is 5 years and 3 months. And I've got to be able to convert that to a decimal or to years, right? Because our interest rate is going to be an annual interest rate. So I need the time to also be in years. So this 3 months is 3 out of 12 months because there's 12 months in a year. So that 3 months is 1/4 or 0.25 years. 1/4 of a year or 0.25 years. So altogether our time is going to be 5.25. 5 years and 3 months is equivalent to 5.25 years, or 5 1/4 year. And then finally, we see that his amount, reading the problem, we see that at the end of that time frame, his amount is $5,000. Now it's just plugging in. I'm going to plug in 500 for amount, 3,487.98 for principal times a quantity of 1 plus 5.25 for time, and then the rate is the only thing left unsolved for. I could solve this simple linear equation to find the interest rate. Now be careful with this pink 3,487.98 cents. Remember from your algebra that we're going to distribute it to each of these two, and that's where this number here comes from. I multiplied the 3,487 times 5.25 to get 18,311.895, and then subtract the 3,487.98 from both sides, divide both sides by the 18,000, and that's going to give us the interest rate. And that's it. I'm going to leave that final calculation to you. You will know whether your answer is right or not when you type that into Blackboard. Let's look at question number 2. Do you like our porcupine? Porcupine won the Instant Quaker Oat sweepstakes, and after taxes, he has $345,678,900, and he's wanting to live off of some of that interest. He wants a monthly allowance. So he's trying to think through, well, how much can I spend now so that I can have enough money left in the account to get this interest amount. So in other words, how much do I have to save? Really, he's interested in how much can I spend, but to know how much he can spend, he really needs to know how much he needs to save, right? We're going to use this real simple interest rate times time times principal is going to give us the interest amount. So the interest amount, that's the 4,000, is equal to principal times rate times time. What we know from this problem is that our interest amount is the $4,000 a month. We know that his interest rate is 9%. And we know that the amount of time that he's going to have the account where he wants that $4,000 is the 1/12. Now, as you read this question, it never says 1/12 anywhere. But what we've got to do is be able to interpret that, where was it? He wants to have, here it is, per month, right? He wants that $4,000 per month. So that per month is where we get the 1/12. Interest amount 4,000 is equal to the principal times 0.09 times 1/12. If we multiply the 9 100ths times a 12 and divide 4,000 by that amount, then that's going to give us the principal amount. Now be really careful when you look at that principal amount. Now I'm not going to write the amount down because I know you can put that into your calculator and get the answer, but think critically about this. Let's just say, and this isn't the right amount, but let's say that it comes up to $103 and 0.2223. So if we rounded this, it would round to $103.22, right? But notice that $103.22 is a little bit too little. It's not quite enough to get to this value here. We need at least this number. And again, let me say that that's not the right answer for this question. But whatever answer you get here, that's how much you need at least, right? So are you seeing where we're going with this? What all this to say, what you're going to need to do is you will need to notice, recognize that we've got to round up. So make sure when you get your final answer that you round up. And then if you want to know how much he can spend, we'll simply take how much he has to 345 million and subtract that principal amount to get how much he can spend on his big shopping spree now. Well, I hope that the short video was worth your time. I hope that this 11 minutes has helped save you some time and has helped you better understand these problems. Don't hesitate to reach out if I could help you further.